On Global TV News Prime, Governor Uzodinma challenges public servants on service transparency. Presidency says 2025 budget for State House will be based on actual requirements. In business, federal government demands bank verification number, national identification number for $500 million bond subscription. On the foreign scene, a Canada rail shutdown threatens United States supply chains. And in sports, PSG coach Luis Enrique plays down prospects of more new signings. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. Tonight, let's begin by telling you, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has called on politicians to emulate the exemplary life of late Michael Okpara. The governor made the call at the Michael Okpara Leadership Lecture and Awards 2024 in Abuja. Uzodinma further advised public office holders to live above board and work for the benefits of the people.
Selfless service is crucial for addressing societal challenges and delivering value for citizens. This usually requires the leader to regularly engage with the citizens in decision makings, fostering transparency and accountability. This way, a government or leader can build trust and legitimacy.
He stated that the inordinate quest for wealth and lack of discipline, among others, are responsible for the unbridled corruption in Nigeria's system. Global Television will bring you the entire program subsequently. Minister of Works David Umahi has assured Nigerians that the ongoing Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project will proceed as planned, despite a pending court case challenging its implementation. Speaking at a press briefing in Abuja, Umahi emphasized that the federal government is committed to seeing the project through and that all necessary legal and procedural requirements have been met. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, a 700-kilometer project, will run from Victoria Island, Lagos, to Calabar, Cross River State, passing through several states, including Ogun, Ondo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom. The project is expected to be a significant infrastructural development, improving connectivity and boosting economic activities along Nigeria's coastal region. Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy Hannatu Musawa has disclosed plans to create a $100 billion investment and 2 million jobs from the creative and cultural sector to revitalize the country's economy. The minister stated that the current administration is intentional about ensuring a large chunk of global market share of over $1 trillion comes into Nigeria's creative industry, in line with the renewed hope agenda of the current administration. Musawa also said the project is feasible with opportunities in the creative and cultural economy value chain through policies enabling a business environment. The Nigerian Army says it has launched an investigation into the alleged killing of 3 persons and 100 cattle by troops during a recent operation in Sabon Birni village, Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. The men in armor uniforms, suspected to be soldiers, had allegedly killed 3 locals and over 100 cows in Sabon Birni Daji cattle markets. Eyewitnesses had claimed that the soldiers stormed the markets, opening fire on the cattle, resulting in the deaths of at least 3 people as traders scrambled for safety. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has mourned former chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Justice Emmanuel Ayola, saying he left behind a name thoroughly bathed in honor and dignity. Ayola, one of the nation's eminent and most revered jurists, died at 90. Obasanjo, in a condolence letter to the head of the Ayola family by his special assistant on media, Kehinde Akiyemi, said the news of the death came to him in Congo, Brazzaville as a jarring shock. Similarly, President Bola Tinubu has condemned the tragic circumstances leading to the death of Isa Bawa, the district head of Gatawa district in Sabon Birni local government area of Sokoto State. The monarch was abducted along Sokoto-Sabon Birni Road while returning from an event weeks ago. The president, in a statement by his special assistant on media and publicity, Ajere Engelale, described the savage attack on the traditional ruler as deeply disturbing and a heinous act that will not go without a decisive response. Tinubu therefore extended his condolences to the bereaved family, the Guber Emirates, and government of Sokoto State. In the meantime, thousands of mourners have held a special funeral prayer for the murdered district head of Gatawa in Sokoto State, Isa Muhammad Bawa, in absentia. The district head, who was kidnapped alongside his son while returning from Sokoto, the state capital, 26 days ago, was killed and buried by his abductors. One of the sons of the deceased and Turakin Gobir, Surajo Isa, said the prayer was held around 10 a.m. and attended by the people of Sabon Birni and environs. President Bola Tinubu has approved the sum of 10 billion naira for the continuation of the digital switchover. The digital switchover that commenced under the administration of immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari is the migration from analog television broadcasting technology to digital systems. Addressing a press conference in Abuja, Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Charles Ebuebu, stated that the grant approved by the president is to build on what had already been achieved. The federal government has approved an upward review of the fees for the Nigerian passport effective September 1, 2024. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the spokesperson for the Nigeria Immigration Service, Kenneth Udo. The increment, it says, is aimed at ensuring the quality and integrity of the Nigerian standard passports. Former Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has expressed concern over the recent invitation of the Nigeria Labour Congress President, Joe Ajaero, by the Nigeria Police Force. Obi emphasized the sensitivity of the situation, given Ajaero's critical role as the leader of the nation's workforce. Obi also stated that the anxiety generated by the Nigeria Police's invitation to the Labour leader for an interview should not be unexpected, given the critical position he holds as leader of the nation's workforce. As part of continued commitment to driving economic growth towards a better life for families, the Renewed Hope Initiative Economic Empowerment Program has flagged off the recapitalization grant for 1,000 women petty traders in the nation's capital, Abuja. Wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, while flagging off the program in Abuja, stated that over 1.8 billion naira would be disbursed to 37,000 women petty traders across the nation. She said the event would take place simultaneously across the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. The Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, has called for the full implementation of the directive of President Bola Tinubu on the supply of crude to Dangote refinery and modular refineries in the country. President of the association and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Yakubu Mekiao, described the establishment of the refinery as both nationalistic and patriotic endeavor. The Umbrella Professional Association of Lawyers also urged the federal government and Nigerians to support the Dangote petrochemical and refinery to end the reign of fuel scarcity and perennial queues at filling stations in the country. Femi Gbajabiamila, Chief of Staff to the President, says the federal government is particular about diversifying the economy through massive investments in agriculture. Gbajabiamila said this during an interactive session with Cornelius Adebayo, Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Agriculture and Land Development Agency. The Chief of Staff to the President had visited the agency as part of a tour of agencies under the supervision of the State House. Gbajabiamila hinted that President Bola Tinubu intends to inaugurate the National Council on Procurement, NCP, which is an establishment of the law. Meanwhile, Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, says the 2025 budget for State House agencies will be based on needs assessments. He said this was to ensure that funding allocated to agencies is based on actual requirements. Gbajabiamila spoke to newsmen in Abuja following a one-day fact-finding tour of some government agencies under the supervision of the State House. The All Progressives Congress APC has inaugurated a caretaker committee led by Benjamin Omale to manage the party's affairs in Benue State, despite a court order prohibiting such action. The move follows ongoing internal conflicts within the party's state chapter, which have resulted in factionalism. The decision was in defiance of a Benue State High Court order restraining the National Working Committee from removing Augustine Agada as the state chairman. The court's order specifically instructed the National Working Committee, led by Abdullahi Ganduje, not to dismiss the Agada-led State Working Committee until the end of his 4-year tenure. The Federal Ministry of Education says the federal government is working to avert another strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU. Rising from its National Executive Council meeting held at the University of Ibadan, the union had given the federal government a 21-day ultimatum to meet its outstanding demands or lecturers will go on strike. Speaking at a press briefing at the Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike in Abia State, the association president, Professor Emmanuel Osodoke, insisted that lecturers will be forced to embark on another strike action except the federal government met their demands before the expiration of the 21-day ultimatum. Gunmen suspected to be bandits have reportedly killed 13 persons on their farms at the Ijoa fringes of Alawa community of Shiroro local government area in Niger State. Chairman of the local government, Akilu Isiaku, who confirmed the killing in Minna, the state capital, said the bandits shot 9 of the victims to death, while 4 others were killed at different locations same day. A resident who spoke to newsmen claimed that the bandits targeted the community over allegations that members had supplied intelligence to security agencies on bandits' movements. You're watching News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When the news returns, PSG coach Luis Enrique plays down prospects of more new signings. We'll let you in on that and bring you more stories. After this short break, please stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you a live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwebe. Thank you for your time with us. Now let's turn to business. The federal government says that investors seeking to invest in its latest financial instruments must disclose specific identification requirements to participate in the exercise. It further stated that all Nigerian citizens, including those residing abroad, must possess a bank verification number and a national identification number to subscribe to the domestic dollar bond. The federal government has launched the National Single Window Project to boost Nigeria's trade and economic growth. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, kicked off the launch of the transformative initiative, which aims to streamline trade processes, reduce bottlenecks, and increase transparency, positioning Nigeria for economic growth. A statement from the Ministry of Finance, signed by Mohammed Manga, Director, Information and Public Relations, says the project is spearheaded by the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, seeking to create a centralized platform where traders can submit and receive information related to import and export procedures. Let's turn to other sectors now. The price of liquefied petroleum gas, or otherwise known as cooking gas, has risen to 1,300 naira per kilogram this month, representing 8.3% month-on-month from 1,200 the previous month. Similarly, the price of 5 kilograms cooking gas has risen by 8.3% to 6,500 from 6,000 it was sold at in July of this year. National President of the Nigeria Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Olatubosun Oladapo, said the association is aware of the recent increase as gas price is influenced by exchange, expressing hope that the price would drop soon by the end of the month. On the foreign scene now, crucial supply chains are under threat across North America after a rail labor dispute in Canada led to shutdown of freight traffic on the country's two largest railways. Canadian National Railway and Canadian Pacific Kansas City had locked out nearly 9,300 workers after failing to clinch a late deal with the Teamsters Union. Canada sends around 75% of all the goods it exports to the United States, mostly over rail. A prolonged dispute could disrupt shipments of a wide range of goods from grains and beans to potash, coal, and timber. Officials say a judge has extended the custody of a Pakistani man accused of spearheading and spreading disinformation on his clickbait website thought to have fueled anti-immigration riots in Britain. Farhan Asif appeared in court for the second day in a row in the city of Lahore over allegations he published an article falsely claiming that a Muslim asylum seeker was behind a deadly knife attack on children in the United Kingdom. He was remanded for a further 4 days and charged with cyber terrorism over the post on his Channel 3 Now website. United Kingdom authorities have blamed online misinformation for sparking days of riots that targeted mosques and hotels, housing asylum seekers as well as police officers and other properties. And let's take you to the ever-exciting world of sports now. Boniface has been suspended for anti-sporting conduct after Saturday's game against Stuttgart when the German champions won on penalties to win the German Super Cup. The striker also pointed his finger to Stuttgart players after the match. Alongside the suspension, the 23-year-old will also pay a fine of 23,000 euros for the misconduct. Boniface will be back for Bayern Leverkusen's first game against Borussia on Friday, but will not feature in the next German Cup match that the club will be playing next. Paris Saint-Germain coach Luis Enrique has insisted that he is delighted with his current squad as he played down the possibility of more new signings arriving before the transfer window closes next week. PSG have already invested a reported 175 million euros, not including bonuses on 4 players this summer, but have not recruited a new striker to fill the gap left by Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe, the club's all-time top scorer, departed for Real Madrid when his contract expired, and the French champions were dealt a further blow when Portugal attacker Gonçalo Ramos came off hurt early in last week's 4-1 win at Le Havre in Ligue 1. Let's bring it closer to home now. Nigeria's under-20 women's team, the Falconets, have fully recovered from their long journey to Colombia and are now gearing up to face Australia in the first of 2 friendly matches arranged by the Nigeria Football Federation to prepare the team for the upcoming FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, set to take place in Colombia from August 31st to September 22nd. Coach Chris Danjuma, along with his team, which now includes fitness trainer Chima Michael, has been putting the Falconets through intensive drills since Monday. These preparations are focused on their clash with the Australian team on Friday, as well as their overall readiness for the World Cup. So let's believe it's going to be a situation of opportunities meeting preparations. As we end Global TV News Prime now, let's take a quick look at some of our top stories. Governor Hope Uzodinma has challenged public servants on service and transparency. The presidency has said 2025 budget for State House will be based on actual requirements. In business, a federal government has announced that bank verification number and national identification number are required for subscription to its $500 million bond. On the foreign scene, Canada rail shutdown has posed a threat to United States supply chains. And finally, in sport, we told you PSG coach Luis Enrique has played down prospect of any new signings. And that's all we have for you on News Prime tonight here on Global Television, and came to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Just a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nightcom. You can also follow Global Television across social media platforms using @Global TVNG and other handles as you now see on the screen. And we are Mofwebe saying a very big thank you to you on behalf of the entire production team here at Global Television in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I'll see you again.